Good morning. Thank you for joining me in this morning mindfulness practice. What you truly believe determines your action and behavior. Dr. Maxwell Maltz wrote an internationally best-selling classic called Psycho-Cybernetics. This is a great book, especially if you're doing some self-study. It is a great book to show you step by step how to use your imagination and improve your self-image. And Dr. Maxwell Maltz says the human brain and nervous system are engineered to react automatically and appropriately to the problems and challenges in the environment. For example, a person doesn't need to stop and think that self-survival requires that he runs if he meets a grizzly bear on the trail. He does not need to decide to become afraid. The fear response is both automatic and appropriate. First, it makes him want to flee. The fear that triggers bodily mechanisms that soup up his muscles so he can run faster than he has ever run before. His heartbeat is quickened. Adrenaline, a powerful muscle stimulant, is poured into the bloodstream. All bodily functions that are not necessary for running are shut down. When you're under this kind of stress, this kind of fear, all bodily functions that are not necessary for running away from the bear are shut down. The stomach stops working, and all available blood is sent to the muscles. Breathing is much faster, and the oxygen supply to the muscles is increased manifold. All of this, of course, is nothing new. Most of us learned it in high school. What we haven't been so quick to realize, though, is that the brain and nervous system that react automatically to the environment are the same brain and nervous system that tell us what the environment is. The reactions of the man meeting the bear are commonly thought of as due to emotion rather than to ideas, yet this is an idea. Information received from the outside world and evaluated by the forebrain that sparked the so-called emotional reactions. Thus, it was basically idea or belief that was the true causative action rather than the emotion which came as a result. The man on the trail reacted to what he thought or believed or imagined the environment to be. Isn't that interesting? I know that happened to me when I was out on the hiking trail in Banff, Alberta, Canada. I was alone in the woods, a gorgeous trail in the mountains, jogging along early in the morning. I came around the corner and I was stopped in my track. I thought there was a bear. I, instead of running, my instinct was paralyzed. I was frozen with fear. And thank goodness it was a giant boulder on the path. It wasn't a bear. But it, my body automatically reacted to what I believed was a threat. And it's what we think or believe or imagine that our environment is that creates our reactions, our emotions. Maxwell Maltz says the messages brought to us from the environment consist of nerve impulses from various sense organs. We know that our sense organs interpret our outside world. Our sense organs are what we use in order to see, hear, smell, touch, taste, and that's how we interpret our environment. These nerve impulses are decoded, they're interpreted and evaluated in the brain, and they are made known to us in the form of ideas or mental images. Maltz says in the final analysis, it is these mental images that we react to. You act and feel not according to what things are really like, but according to the image your mind holds of what they are like. You have certain mental images of yourself, of your world, and the people around you, and you behave as though these images were the truth, the reality, rather than the things they represent. Malt says, let's suppose that the man on the trail had not met a real bear, but a movie actor dressed in a bear costume. If he thought and imagined the actor to be a bear, his emotional and nervous reactions would have been exactly the same. And I know that to be true. Or let us suppose he met a large, shaggy dog, which his fear-ridden imagination mistook for a bear. He would still automatically react to what he believed to be true concerning himself and his environment. So it follows then that if our ideas and mental images concerning ourselves are distorted or unrealistic, then our reaction to our environment will likewise be inappropriate. You know, your brain is like, it's really an electronic switching station. Bob Proctor would teach in seminars, and he would say, think of your vehicle. Really think about it. Be aware that an image, a picture of your automobile comes onto the screen of your mind. Now quickly think of the front door of your home. Be aware that you have an image of the front door on your mind. Think of a loved one that you haven't seen for some time. They too will appear on the screen of your mind. Think of a hot air balloon, or a spoon, or a coffee cup. See how fast you can switch from one image to the next. You know, we think in pictures. Now, Bob Proctor would say, now think of your mind. If you're like most people, an image of the brain has appeared on the screen of your mind. Clearly understand your brain is not your mind any more than your fingernail or your elbow is. Your brain is part of your body. As magnificent as it is, your brain is actually an electronic switching station. It's still part of your body. Your body is the physical manifestation of a movement that is more commonly referred to as the mind. No one has ever seen or will ever see the mind. Mind is movement. It's not really a thing, it's an activity. And your mind is either in a confused or an orderly state, one or the other. An image brings order to the mind. Whenever we begin to think of the mind, confusion reigns since no one has ever seen the mind. And since confusion causes feelings that we do not appreciate, we stop thinking about it and we begin to go into an area that we're more familiar with. We just think in habit patterns. We have cells of recognition, and so we believe that whatever we've been programmed to believe is true and accurate. Bob Proctor would say, you see, the image of your car was tucked into a group of cells in your brain the moment you looked at it. We asked you to think of your automobile, and that word triggered cells that contained an image and caused the image to flash on the screen of your mind. As you heard the word coffee cup and spoon, in a millisecond, you activated the cells in your brain that contained those images, and they flashed on the screen of your mind. When I told the story of the bear on the boulder on the path that I thought was a bear, you could picture that in your mind. For many years, Bob Proctor studied everything he could get his hands on, attempting to figure out why his life had changed so dramatically. He gathered a tremendous amount of information about the mind, but was not able to tie it all together. He could not connect the dots until he met Leland Val Vanderwall, and Val shared with Bob Proctor a story about a Dr. Thurman Fleet in San Antonio, Texas. Dr. Fleet was very involved in the healing arts, and he realized that he and others in his profession were falling short. He was a holistic chiropractor, but the chiropractors, the medical people, were treating symptoms, and they were not treating the cause of the problems. He said if there was going to be any health, they would have to treat the person holistically. In other words, they had to treat the whole person. Dr. Fleet said they were not doing that properly because when it came to the area of the mind, there was nothing but confusion. He said since no one has ever seen the mind, he was going to create a picture of the mind. If you have a pen and paper handy, you might do the same. So Leland Val Vanderwall taught Bob Proctor what Dr. Thurman Fleet had crafted to have a picture of the conscious and subconscious mind. He said the mind functions on two levels. So first he drew a large circle and he put a line through it. He drew it in a circle with a line across the middle. And then he drew a little circle underneath with, it looked like a stick person, two little arms and legs sticking out, but the bottom circle was smaller because he said the body is an instrument of the mind, and the mind controls the body. The mind functions on two levels. Of course, it functions on many levels, but in order to bring order to our mind, he just taught that the top circle was the conscious mind, our educated mind, our intellect. It's where we think, we interpret our world through our five senses. And the bottom half of that large circle represents the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is our feeling mind, our emotional mind. Bob Proctor, when he thought about this, his whole world began to shift. Everything that he had studied for years began to fall into place. Confusion was gone and it was replaced with order. He quickly began to understand how and why his life had changed. got an overwhelming feeling of satisfaction and joy reigning in his mind at the moment. Every day for 9 years, he had been searching for what he had just found. Bob trusted in the words, "Seek and you will find." What is it that you're looking for? What do you really want? Thoreau said, "We will meet with success unexpected in common hours. Seek and you will find." You will meet with success unexpected in common hours. Bob Proctor realized that everything that he was looking for was simply and suddenly there before his eyes. He developed the strongest urge to share this information, and he never stopped studying. And he taught that if you design a picture in your mind, in your conscious mind, since we think in pictures, use your conscious mind to decide what it is that you really want. Now, first you have to get into a relaxed state of being. So you want to take a deep breath in and just allow your central nervous system to relax. There's no bear on the trail. There's no saber-toothed tiger in the next cubicle at work. You can let go of all your stresses and just relax for a few minutes. Bob Proctor taught to think of yourself as a stick person. He said he sees the mind and body as, he sees each person as a stick person, and all the bodies that moving around are instruments of individualized expressions of universal mind. He said, when you train yourself to see this, to see everyone as a stick person, their conscious and subconscious mind controlling their body, then you have no difficulty understanding what's going on in another person's mind, because it is being expressed in that person's actions and in the results that they're getting. You see, what's going on inside a person is always reflected on the outside. So he would call the stick person the secret genie. Your outside world is a reflection of what takes place in your mind. So if you want a different result, you want to change what's going on in your mind, and you want to change your behavior, your actions. If you're in a place that you can be quiet for a few moments, I just want you to sit still, put away any distractions. It's 7:22 here in Saskatoon, and I'll be finished at 7:30, so you don't have to worry about running off or being late for work. You can just sit calmly, take a deep breath in, and let that go. Relax your body. Vibration is the natural law of the universe, and everything vibrates. Nothing rests. We literally live in an ocean of motion. Your body is a molecular structure in a very high speed of vibration, and we're going to allow it to relax and get into alignment with what you truly want. What do you desire? You can get a picture, an image in your conscious mind of something that you really want to do, something you really want to have, a version of yourself that you really want to become. Happy, healthy, joyful, loving and loved, respected and respectful. What would it feel like to be calm and happy? To not have fears and worries and doubts about where you're going and how much money you need. You're just going to dream about what you really want as if you already have it. You become emotionally involved with your dreams as you move them from your conscious mind to your subconscious mind. Your conscious mind is only about 2 to 5% of who you really are. Your subconscious mind is your heart, your emotional mind. It's how you automatically do everything. So we're going to use the power of your mind to create health, wealth, love, whatever you choose. The subconscious mind is in every cell of your body. So the vibration of your entire body is altered with the emotional involvement of what you're dreaming of, what you truly desire. And rather than hoping and wishing, when you get emotionally involved in what you want as if it's already yours, it's already here, the vibrations in your mind and in your subconscious mind in your body set up a magnetic force with the universe, and you begin attracting everything that vibrates in harmony with you. Allow yourself to relax and be open to receiving. There is a tremendous energy that flows to and through you. This energy is so powerful, it can even be photographed leaving your body. We want to get into alignment with the beautiful idea in your mind of what you truly want, feeling as if it's already yours. Feeling is a word we invented to describe our conscious awareness of the vibration that we're in. As you get into a vibrational energy, you already have what it is that you want. You already are the person that has achieved the goal. Every cell of your body is a magnetic force that is attracting everything for the fulfillment of that picture. And as you get you're in a feeling of well-being, this starts to accelerate. You're at ease, you're in a creative state of being, and you start to receive ideas. I want you to open your eyes if you have them closed and write down what you saw on the screen of your mind, what images or pictures came to you. What did you see that you truly desire to do or be or have? And any ideas that popped into your mind, because as you take action on those ideas that you received while you're in the receiving mode of being truly in love with your goal, seeing what you want, feeling as if it's already done, you attract to you ideas. That is your inner guidance system, the higher version of you that wants the best for you, giving you an idea of the next step on the path, how to attain that next version of you, that next level, that deep desire that you have. And the law of attraction alters your results, but you have to take the first step. What is it that you truly desire? Write it down, feel as if it's already yours, and take action. It is your thoughts plus your feelings plus your actions that create the results in your life. Create a wonderful day. Thank you for joining me in this morning mindfulness practice. I'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 7. Thank you.